Yeah, it's like way big comb over. To be frank, I was a little hesitant. Obviously, at the end of the last movie, Caesar died.
Baby 8, bottle 8. 3, 2, 1. Nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you. I am Eric Winquist. I was the visual effects supervisor for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's good. To be frank, I was a little hesitant. Obviously, at the end of the last movie, Caesar died. And so where does that storyline go beyond his death? And so when I saw the script and saw that we were fast forwarding hundreds of years into the future, this now brings up all sorts of interesting possibilities. And so that was kind of the reason I was wanting to get on board. Here we are. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately because it has gone by in a flash. It's been very satisfying to see the kinds of stories that we're able to tell because technology sort of has enabled filmmakers to take us places that weren't previously possible. It's a lifestyle, I'll say that. It didn't start as a piece of concept art. The thing that we found over time through doing these is that the more that we can cast a role instead of trying to design a character, the more successfully that character just drops in terms of believability and things. We found a particular ape that Wes really liked the look of, and that was our guidepost in terms of making the character. Well, we have in Wellington, we have a really fantastic collection of chimpanzees. They've allowed us in over the years for these apes films to observe, which has been really instructive to the success of those characters. The particular ape, the face that Wes really loved the look of for the character of Rocca, I started doing Google image search. We actually found specifically which orangutan that was. And as it turned out, one of our visual effects supervisors at Wētā, his sister lives in the town where that zoo is in Germany, and so his family was able to go there and actually get photographs of that exact animal that really informed what it looks like around the back of their head. The shaggy hairdo that we see on that character, those hairs don't come from here, they come from back here, and they're swept all the way around the back of the head. And as soon as we realized that, so much about the character just started working because we were struggling with the hair groom. Yeah, it's like way big comb over. Oh, yeah. So they had arranged this with Andy, who was gracious enough to work with the new cast. I mean, obviously, it was a literal sort of metaphorical handing of the baton. They scheduled a Zoom call on a big television set so that the actors could see him. He coached them through some of the body mechanics and the kind of things that he would think about when he was finding his inner ape. The biggest thing they talked about was finding their voice, literally finding their voice of how does an ape speak? Because even though our characters all speak in this movie, the script had said at the very beginning that they can speak now, but their physiology makes it difficult. They weren't just sitting there talking blah, 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 that there was effort required to speak. And so Andy was able to talk them through where to find his voice. I think because of that, it really helped all of the actors.
There were loud comments.
Yeah, well, it's funny, I was thinking about that because from the early concept art of Noah, it was clear that they were thinking of this character as being very similar to Caesar, but we needed to make sure that we found a very distinctly different look. So when you really compare their two faces, Caesar has a very square jaw, and one of the things we specifically had sculpted with Noah, it was Wes's suggestion, was to narrow his face a bit more so he felt younger and he felt more naive. I think that it actually made a very distinct difference. It's an interesting comparison, seeing that.
That are called balance game in Korean. Easy to render.
Okay. Okay.
You have Advanced Jungle versus A Fallen City. 3, 2, 1.
Fallen City.
3, 2, 1.
Apes.
3, 2, 1.
Right side of it.
3, 2, 1.
Bodies.
Okay. Baby 8, bottle 8. 3, 2, 1.
Hold it. In terms of, you said easier to render. And absolutely that is easier to render. As soon as we introduce water into the equation, difficulty level goes up sky high because it's no longer just needing to make the fur look wet, but now we actually have to have water droplets on the fur, and that carries with it an entirely new set of tools that we have to use. Given the choice between those two, I would say keep an eye out for little Easter eggs. They're all over the place. They're peppered throughout the movie. Things that might remind you of things that you've seen or in the timeline will see later on.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
When I sleep, see strange things.
Memories?
Not memories. New things. I see everything.
That is not everything.
What a